So we are going to start from the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, you can see how price break and tested this resistance, which it was a resistance, and now it's acting as a support. So this zone here was resistance, then we push all the way up, break down, and we are retesting off of this zone. So resistance now acting as a support. So potentially from this zone, this zone is looking like a higher low zone, and from this higher low zone, we should see price go all the way up to this high potentially. On the daily time frame, we see how price has been making bullish structure from this zone here. So yeah, we're making this a low, and we made a high, then we make a low, then from this zone we made a higher high, then we made a low, made a high, right? And now we are not able to break above this high, this daily high here. So you see that price rejecting off of this daily high. So 3 days, total of 3 days. This was Wednesday, this was Thursday, this was Friday. So 3 days we failed to break above this daily high. So this is telling us, okay, potentially we could see price drop from this zone. And on Friday we had this bearish candle. So potentially from this zone, I see price dropping. It's not going to alter the bullish trend, because price could drop all the way down from this zone all the way down to this zone here, and the bullish trend will still be valid. You get, except you break below this zone here, which is the last higher low price made. You get, if price break below past the last higher low, then yeah, that invalidates the trend. But for now, we are still bullish, so we could from this zone potentially drop all the way down, even all the way down to 4-5. Who knows? You get. If you go to the lower time frame, the 4-hour time frame, you see how price made a head and shoulder on that daily high. So this is a head and shoulder, as you can see. This is the left shoulder, this is the head, and now this is the right shoulder. You see how we've been rejecting off of this right shoulder, right? So potentially from this zone, I see price dropping all the way down to this support zone, potentially all the way down to this support zone. Now, if you go to the 2-hour time frame, one thing I can also say is that this is the last higher low we made on this bullish trend here on the lower time frame, right? So if this is the last higher low we made, I'll push out to make this higher high, right? Then if we drop, because potentially for this zone we are going to drop, right? If we drop and we see a candlestick that close below this last higher low, then that potentially is telling you that, okay, we are going on a downtrend on the lower time frame. On the daily time frame, it should just be a retracement. So on lower time frame, it should be like a counter trend, something like that. You get. So on the 2-hour, you see price. If that is, I say, if we get a candle that close below this last higher low, a candle close, not a wick, not price wigging off this zone, right? Like a weak candle close, like we drop and the candle closes below this, then yeah, we are going to go into a counter trend on the 2-hour time frame, 2-hour and 4-hour time frame. Then potentially we might drop all the way down to 4-5, potentially, we don't know. Then from there on, we have to wait, right, for price to be done with the counter trend. Now, once price is done with the counter trend, then we can now then continue riding the overall trend on the daily time frame, which is the bullish trend, right? So once price is done, price is going to give us something like a double bottom. You get on an inverted head and shoulder, or a switch of structure. Any of those we get on the 2-hour time frame, right? I'm saying this as if we close below this zone, right? Then and we continue dropping all the way. Any zone we drop down to, then yeah, we just wait for those reversal patterns. Any of those, once we get those, then that signify that, okay, we want to continue back the bullish trend. So what I mean by that is, now potentially from this zone, I see price dropping, right? Dropping all the way down, right, to here. So your TP is going to be here. Now let's say we drop all the way down to here, we then push up, then we see a candle that closed below this zone. Now you see that this candle is closing below this last higher low that price made, right? This is just then indicating to us that, okay, we've gone on a bearish trend or a counter trend on the 2-hour time frame and the 4-hour time frame. Then from there, potentially price to continue lower. You get. So let's say we push all the way down and we drop all the way down. I'm just using these, all these are just like examples, right? And we drop all the way down to this zone, right? Then we get something like maybe a double bottom like this, boom. Yeah, then this will signify that okay, this is a reversal pattern, right? Then this is signifying that okay, we want to use this zone as a higher low zone, new higher low zone on the daily time frame, and from this zone we should see price then push all the way up. You get? Now same thing, boom, drop all the way down, then whatever we start making bullish or very structured, then boom, maybe we then break above, right, the last higher low, lower high price made on the counter trend, then we come back down to retest it. This is a series of swift of structure. Then from this zone we know okay, price is ready to go back up. You get? Then another thing we could also see potentially, maybe all these are speculations, right? I'm just giving examples, right? We break below, we make um bearish trend, then from all the way down to this zone we start making an inverted head and shoulder. Like you see, this is an inverted head and shoulder. From here push all the way up, right? Then that also is a reversal pattern too. Then from there we should push all the way up, right? So now what are we going to do this coming week? I feel like as soon as market is opening, right, on Monday, right, what you should do is to enter short immediately. So on the 4 hour, your shorts will be looking like this. Okay, let's use the 2 hour time frame. So your entry should be like this. As soon as market open, you should enter short potentially, right? Now you should do your own research. You get, do your own research. I'm not saying this was going to happen, and this is not a financial advice. You get, so you should do your own research. But this is what I'm gonna do. So what I'm going to do is enter short immediately. Then my TP will be around this zone here. So it's like a 1 to 2 risk to reward potentially. Around a 1 to 2 risk to reward. So yeah, this is it. Now I will also be looking at this zone here. This here on the 2 hour time frame, yeah. This zone here. So if I get rejection of from this zone too, I'll just close the position. Right. So if price, let's say price drop all the way down to this zone here, and I'm getting rejection of this zone, I'll close the position. So this is what I'm going to do immediately market opens, right? Also you can also wait for market to go back to retest this daily resistance. So what I mean is you can see, we could also see price push all the way up, right? Push all the way up to come back to retest, because on gold price always loves to do something like retest, something like this, yeah. Then from there, once you get the rejection of that zone, then you sell. Get? But yeah, what I'm doing is as soon as market is opening, I'm entering shorts, and that is my L cell, just my sell and my TP. What I just showed you now. If we go backwards, yeah, this is my L cell and that's my TP. So it's like a 1 to 2 weeks to reward. Now, if price goes lower, you don't need to enter any position. Just wait for what I just explained now, for price to give us a zone where it's going to use like a potential higher low zone, so that we continue riding the bullish trend. Now, this is a counter trend position, you get, because overall we are bullish on the daily time frame, so it's a little bit more on the riskier side. You know what I'm saying? So on the daily time frame, once we get that, we drop, right? Once we drop, so the retracement might be looking like this. We might come down to this zone, right? From here, make a new higher low from here potentially, and continue going up. That could happen. Or we might drop and drop all the way down to anywhere, as long as we do not break below this zone. So it could be anywhere. Why I'm seeing price reacting off of these psychological zones. I have mid quarterly psychological zones, but 4-5, the 4-5 is a psychological zone. So I'm seeing price reaction off of those zones, and from there we see, once we get a reversal pattern around this zone on the lower time frame, then we continue bullish trend for price to make new highs. So yeah, that's my outlook on gold. Like I said, that position that I said we should enter is not like a financial advice. It's just what I would do once market opens, right? So you want to make your own analysis and see if you are okay with entering it. You get me? And also, if you are going to enter, apply proper risk management and so on. Also, the best position I think you should enter is when price has dropped all the way, has done is done with the reversal, right? And it gives you a reversal pattern, right? Either from this zone here, from below here, inner of this zone, and from here you just right so that you are trading with the trend. So yeah, you trading with the trend will be the best option, right? So just wait for a reversal, just like I explained, and you trade with the trend, which is the overall trend that's on the daily time frame. So yeah, that's it for this video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.